Hello everyone and welcome. Kelly here, where we learn to master our mirror, and that just really means that we're learning to discern that everything that we experience on the outside of our world is a reflection for what's happening within us, and we can always use that as a divine reflection so that we can move forward with greater clarity. I was talking with someone the other day, and she's done a lot of healing work. But sometimes our divine counterparts show us, not sometimes, but they always show us what's happening at a subconscious level. And remember, a lot of the work that we do, it happens, below the surface, below our conscious awareness. And so it's really, really essential for us to use our lives as a divine mirror so that we can really improve, so that we can heal, so that we can love that part of ourselves that has been hurt, right? So that we can heal, so that we can grow and develop. Because the truth is that the divine is really here to help us grow and develop and to live an abundant life, doing what we love, doing what comes most natural to us in the world. Why on the world would we all be so different and then be, in a place in the world where we have to sacrifice ourselves or our happiness in order to earn an income or to to really survive in this world. And while, work is work, right? I think it's important to have a life purpose that really is just as fulfilling as our romantic relationships, as our free time, and being able to celebrate life in an abundant way on our own. And so I know I'm fully in mission at this point. It's taken me a long time to get here. I run a ballet school and I run a coaching business, helping people to really master their lives, truly, right? So you can really build the life of your dreams and not just, to really walk that path that you've always wanted. And sometimes there's this, definitely blocks to being able to create the life that you love. For instance, as a child, every time I would share that I wanted to be a professional dancer, I would get a lot of resistance from people. And perhaps there was somewhere inside of me that was really not sure if I could do it as well. And it was always very triggering to me. So, but I have been able to create a professional career, dancing professionally, as well as having my school. So, even having doubts, you can persevere and create the life of your dreams. Even having doubts, you can absolutely manifest your twin. I will say, though, it really is important as you continue on your journey to stay committed to healing. And when you're really upset, that's the time to do the inner work. That's the time to really focus on your inner healing so that you can get to the other side. My coach, and I have a coach as well, because she just helps me, right? It just helps me go deeper. It's like, if you're, I don't know, it's like when people come together, whether it's 2 at a time, 4x4, when people come together, we really are more powerful together. But anyway, it's like, say you have you have something you really want to create. So we think of it as like this deck of cards, right? And as I, pull the cards, say, this is what you want on the other side, being able to break through that challenge, right? So you may have healed like little layer upon layer upon layer, but there's still something that's keeping things from opening up. So if you perhaps are not talking to your divine counterpart, or maybe you're in communication, but maybe not as often as you would like, whatever challenges you're going through on your journey, just know that, just keeping the faith and really trusting the divine to help create and make that happen is going to be essential, because your beliefs reflect your life. And that's what we really do with the mirror exercise, is learning to heal our belief systems about God and what, not just what we deserve, but what we feel God will allow in our lives. And one of the biggest things I'm noticing lately, and I've done a lot of work around my father and my family, and I'll just share this real quick. My dad was an alcoholic, and but he was one of the rare ones. He eventually couldn't hold down a job, and worked through every family, every work relationship, every family relationship until he became homeless. I think that happened when I was about 25. So I literally saw my dad kind of fall from grace from the time I was really little to the time in my adulthood. And there were definitely even periods of time of my life when I was really trying to get my life together that I even refused to see him because I just needed to stay focused. And so, but with that being said, I had really projected my dad being in and out of my life through these last few years being a single parent, and not fully believing that I could be supported 100% on my own. Like God would come in and give me, a wave of support, but then I would feel him like go away and then come back, and this ebb and flow. And I had been, that was my fear that's would happen. And that's what I manifested because that's what I believed God would do. And I'm just now realizing and seeing that connection between my father experience and what I thought the divine was. And even though I know they're completely separate and they're completely different, my subconscious programming was like, I can't really trust the divine all the time to support me. And so I've been in lack because of it. And really healing that at a core level right now. And really, really about to have a really strong foundation with my school. I mean, I do have a strong foundation, but really, really setting the tone for that, and really looking to expand within the next year or so. With that being said, it really does take a lot of faith and courage to stay on the journey. And I would encourage you to, really, really love the signs and synchronicities that you receive in the world around you. My kids, my students, a lot of times will, they'll make different things for me that will really, they'll definitely reflect my journey. It's really beautiful with some of the artwork that they give me, and just random things that you wouldn't even think of a child to create, that absolutely is super reflective on the journey. So anyway, I wanted to pull some cards today as well for you. So I was kind of shuffling them just a moment ago, but I can shuffle them a little bit more. And let's get a message for the collective. What should we know for the collective? Love this deck. This is Queen of the Moon Oracle. Just love this one. That one wants to come out too. What else do we need? Oh, that one too for the collective. One more. Oh, let's do that one. Perfect. Okay. And then what does your divine masculine want to share with you? Oh, that one's flying out. All right. One more card. What does the masculine want to say? That one wants to come out. And let's see. What do you want to say to your masculine? Oh, that one. Definitely. Let's take that one. Oh, that one. Okay, there we go. All right. So the first cards. This is, oh, I love this one. Okay, this one is acceptance. It is number 4, and I just love, oh, this is so beautiful. So, you see you've got the white doves in there. Beautiful, representing purity and love. And you've got really that, and notice they're really like reaching for each other. And this could represent, you and your divine masculine. This could also or divine feminine. This could also represent, reaching to source. And I encourage you to continue to reach to source for everything. You can be as needy as you want with God. And of course, it's not this, there is unconditional love there, but you definitely can reach out to God to pray and to ask for forgiveness if you need it, and just to really be your authentic self with the divine, and you will get your answers. So really asking questions and being guided, being open and receptive to your guidance is going to be really powerful here. And then the acceptance is really accepting where you are in the journey, accepting who you are. That's a really big part of loving and honoring yourself, is really accepting where you are on your journey and realizing that, okay, I'm a divine child of God, and I'm learning and I'm growing, and I have the power to transcend and transform your life into your dreams. So powerful. Okay, so this one is Nourishment. I love this one. It almost looks like it's on like a, this waterfall coming down from the moon is like either an egg, or maybe that's even represents a rock, like the earth. Okay, but definitely grounding in your nourishment. So where are the places in your life that need more care, right? When I think of nourish, I think of, I think of water, I think of food, I think of, what is nourishing you spiritually, right? What are the things that are filling you up and helping you heal and grow? And what are the things in the way of those things, right? Maybe it's a sleeping pattern. Maybe you have anxiety so you can't sleep. Maybe, so it's really removing the blocks to being nourished. I know I haven't been able to sleep for about, oh my gosh, it's like 3 years on my journey, and I'm coming up on 4, and I'm finally now being able to sleep again, really trusting in my journey, really trusting in the process, that I'm actually on my way to my union, and it's going to happen. And really looking at what ways you need to nourish yourself and fill yourself up, because your divine counterpart is not there to fill you up. That's God's job, right? That's God's job to fill your cup in every area of your life, your financial, your spiritual. And when you can really release the codependency of having to have another person fill your happiness, you're going to find life is really going to shift. And really a lot of the pain that we experience is the pain of, the things that we had hoped would work out and didn't, right? And so we're releasing that pain when, that spiritual awakening that happened, it was there to really like catapult you and to heal all of those hurts. So it's about going into those places that really, really hurt and loving yourself there. And again, that's why I have a coach, because I just go deeper when I have my coach with me. So, all right, I hope that helps. Also, it sets a timeline for me as well. Like we have a date and a time and we do it, right? All right, okay, discernment. All right, so discernment. I was just thinking about this today, about how when I was first on my journey, how I didn't have as much discernment. And that's what you'll find. That's what ascension essentially is getting clear. We talk about purifying our consciousness in our community, our spiritual community. And really what that means is being able to discern from a clear headspace, right? I was talking to my daughter, and my daughter is really, really brilliant. But she really struggles with her homework. She has a ton of resistance to it. And she gets really upset if she gets anything wrong. And, I was telling her, she and I have had like quite the journey in the last 5 years, a divorce that happened when she was about 5. And, still she's one of the only kids in her school his family is split apart. And she has very different lives at both houses. So there's just a lot of contrast for her. And she's got so much emotional stuff that she's dealing with that like her being able to process her schoolwork is actually really difficult for her, even though she's really brilliant. And so, I want you to just have a lot of compassion and a lot of love for yourself in this place. And I completely relate to my daughter because this is where I was a couple years ago. I was driving Uber full time. I was trying to build a business, but I didn't know Facebook ads. I didn't really have a great financial structure. I didn't really know how to be a business person. I have gotten really good at like selling my programs, but I didn't have a financial structure that would actually help me be abundant and support me. And so I was always in a place of lack. And then I was trying to build another business, another coaching business, doing nutrition and fitness coaching in order to heal the situation. But obviously, I was in a really long perpetual cycle trying to have 3 things in the air, plus being a single mom. Like, it was just insane, right? Like, totally not really doable, but I didn't have the discernment to get clear. And so last year, when everything happened with the world and COVID and all of that, I ended up hiring, I hired one coach. I ended up hiring 3 coaches over last year. Just because I kept deciding on different things that I needed, right? I ended up getting my personal twin flame coach. I ended up getting a business coach to help me heal the financial structure of my school so that I could get rid of Uber, so that I could begin coaching. And I decided to do, the twin flame coaching, the ascension coaching, as opposed to the nutrition and fitness, because it was just more near and dear to my heart. But yeah, so I had to get clear. So, be really, wherever you're hurting in your life, I would encourage you want to go to the feeling. You want to bring up the emotional state. You want to bring up the feeling that feels bad, and then love yourself in that place. That's how you heal. Okay. That's the biggest thing I can say, is really bring love by just breathing in breath. Just take a deep breath. And you are a part of the divine. Is just bring in love into that place that you're hurting, okay? All right, but definitely allow the feelings to come up. That's the biggest thing. Okay, so what does your masculine want to say to you? The first card that came out, this is assessing. So either you or your twin flame, actually probably you're both really assessing where you are in life, and you're really looking to the future, really looking, and this is from, I love this balloon here, just out in space, really looking at the future and what's possible, and really assessing the situation, really looking where they are so they can really look to the future and decide what are the next best steps. This reminds me of having a really exceptional vantage point, right? Stepping away from everything to get a clearer perspective of the future. Okay. Next card is hunger. This is the wolf moon. And, the wolf is associated with charging through your fears. So right now your divine masculine is likely charging through their fears because they're hungry for the life that they desire. They're hungry for the life with you, divine feminine. And the truth is the more that you doubt the truth of this, the further away your union's going to be, right? Now, the truth is that all roads lead home, right? You can delay love a little bit, but you can't, right? You can delay it, but true love is true love is true love, and it cannot be denied unless you deny it, right? Unless you deny yourself the truth of it. And so, yeah, this is a real confirmation that that your twin flame is really, really hungering, really desiring you at a core level. And if that's what you feel, chances are they absolutely feel that as well. And so trust this. The more that you trust that your divine masculine loves you truly, the more they can go and work through their fears. If you don't trust them, why would they do the work to work through their fears, right? Trust, it hurts our twins. They feel everything. You can't hide from your twin, right? Even, across thousands of miles, you cannot hide energetically from your twin because you guys share the same consciousness, which essentially means you're the same being in 2 separate bodies. And the closer you get to union, the more you heal your union, the more you'll actually feel that and be able to communicate, right? So just know that your twin flame is working through their fear, and they're really hungry for the life of their dreams with you, right? You are in the you're in their life, you're in their picture. They know it, you know it. So again, it's just accepting where you are on your journey and allowing things to unfold naturally in divine order, right? It's not necessarily about divine timing, because you're in control of the timing of your healing, okay? It's divine order. So you've got to heal things in a particular order that works with your union and the divine, okay? All right. What do you want to say to your masculine? This came out again. So patience. This came out just the other day. So where in your life do you, are you needing more patience with yourself, divine feminine? This is where you're telling your divine masculine to be patient, which seems very opposite from what I feel the community. A lot of the divine feminines are like, okay, I've been here, I'm waiting, you know. But this is the truth the truth about the runner chaser dynamic. Is if your counterpart is running, there's a part of you that's running and afraid of love as well, because they absolutely mirror your choices and decisions. That's how you know they're your twin. And someone was super upset on the forum the other day. They were talking about how their twin flame was like blocking them, ignoring them, and they were showing up, and they were this particular lady, but she didn't understand that there was somewhere subconsciously that she was running, that she was pushing her divine counterpart away. And I don't know where that is in your union. If you want to work with someone and discover that, you can definitely do so. I do mirror workshops on the regular, on Mondays at 11, Mondays at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So you can book a session with me. Those are free. And then I have some awesome sessions to really help you, like a really great starter kit. But the truth is if, so this is you saying to your divine masculine, be patient. I'm getting myself together. I'm pulling it together. I'm finding my happiness. I'm releasing the codependency. I'm having more awareness in my life so that I can be ready for you. This is what you're saying to your divine masculine, right? Subconsciously. This is subconscious. Okay? Trust. And so I feel like this is where the divine feminines are learning to trust God and their divine counterpart. And this is about you really, really trusting the process and really allowing God to guide this. This is something that I noticed that my twin mirrored to me, is that I kept saying, I'm going to give it to God. I'm just going to give it to God. But every time I would say that, I felt something like in my heart kind of like some sort of resistance. And I didn't know what that was. And I just realized that my divine masculine is also giving this to God. He's also following God. We're on this journey together in partnership. We're also giving this to God and allowing it to unfold naturally in divine order. So this is about trust. And remember, your divine counterpart is you. They are you on a conscious soul level. They are you. And again, the more that you walk forward on your journey, the more that you're going to feel that. I've even had moments where I'm like so connected that we just it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And for those of you that are like waiting for your divine masculine to like call and apologize, I just want to say to you, this is what my coach said to me, is that if you set a boundary, like you're not going to call them unless they call you, or communicate, text, whatever, however the communication goes, then whatever you decide, your twin flame is going to reflect that as well. Because if you say hi, you're like, oh hi, like that's like I'm in the mirror now. I say hi, your mirror says back. But if you're like, I'm not going to say hi, right? So realize that every choice that you make on a core level, your divine counterpart is going to make that choice too. Now, it doesn't mean you have to go and text your twin flame every day so that they'll text you back. But the truth is, whatever is in you that is resisting for you to reach out to them, that's what needs to be healed. Okay? So if you're really scared to reach out to them, then you've got some inner work to do. If you'd like guidance and help with that, I'm more than happy to help you. That was like one of my biggest core blocks to union, was asking for help. And someone in the community finally said that that asking for help can be a trauma response. I was blown away. I'd never heard that before. I grew up with a very, very strong, independent, single mom, and she rarely asked for help, hardly ever. And so I learned that asking for help was weakness. And I had to unlearn it. That was a belief system that I had to unlearn. And I had to unlearn it by going through cycles and patterns that were not fun, that were not, it wasn't pleasant, guys. I promise. I used to work 70 hours a week, and I never had enough money. I never had enough anything. Yeah. And if you had have asked me 2 years ago if I'd have my own studio space, if I'd be completely in mission and doing everything that I wanted, I would believe it, but I would not have realized how many emotional and spiritual blocks it took me to actually manifest it. And so if you are in patterns and cycles, and you know that you're in cycles and you're having a hard time getting out of it, really do the inner work. And you don't necessarily need to coach with me, but I really encourage you to get help and to get the guidance that you need, because you really are worth the help. You really are worth it. So, all right, with that, I'm going to close. I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful day. Wishing you all the best, and we'll touch base soon. All right, thank you all. Have a beautiful Saturday.